worked so hard to put on. We spent so much time on this.
Hi everyone, we are going to go over how to apply foundation with a brush for textured skin. If you're new to my channel, then hello, my name is Shayla and I make videos about loving your skin and wearing your makeup with confidence. So you'll find a lot of makeup reviews, skin tips for people with texture and acne prone skin. If that is your cup of tea, then consider subscribing by hitting that red subscribe button down below. Let's just get started. First, I will go over the best products that I think work for people with textured skin. Then I will go over the technique that I use in order to make my texture look a little smoother. And then lastly, I will share my best tips at the very end, so make sure that you stick around for those. For products, I think the best foundation brush to use is one that is very dense like this and has a flat top. Try avoiding those foundation brushes that are like this, for example. These tend to cause more streaking and they're not really good for people who have texture. Next, make sure that you're choosing a good foundation. This is so important. Find one that is matte. Matte, matte, matte. Make sure that it's matte. Do not get a dewy foundation because dewy foundations will just draw more attention to your skin. Next, with concealer, find another brush that is small and dense like this one here. It's basically just like a mini version of this, but it's kind of like a Harley Quinn version of it, I guess. When you're choosing a concealer, make sure you're finding one that isn't going to crease, because that is one of the biggest problems with high coverage concealers is they usually crease or they tend to break apart. For powder, I would recommend using a powder puff because this will concentrate a lot of the powder on your skin and it will kind of fill in the holes and blur everything. And then this is really great for buffing in everything else. So it's kind of just like a small buffing brush that you can use to buff in powder in certain areas that you may have spot concealed. These two products are very important for getting the best finish for your foundation. For powder, I highly recommend a translucent, lightweight powder. Y'all, I know my skin looks so oily and shiny right now. That's just how my skin is. I got very oily skin. If this video has been helpful for you so far, then please let me know by hitting that like button. I'd really appreciate it. So now let's just get started with the demo. If you have some excess oil, then go ahead and take a dry washcloth and blot all of that oil down. I already washed my face and moisturized it and all that stuff, but I still just tend to get oily. So go ahead and blot all that oil down so we have a nice base to start. I can't believe I forgot to completely mention a primer in my products in the beginning. Of course, you need a primer to make sure that you have a very smooth base, and this will help your foundation to last longer. I like to pat in the primer and just push it into the holes instead of wiping it on your skin. This tends to have better results for people with pitted scars and boxcar scars. For the foundation, make sure you're getting just a little bit, putting it on the back of your hand and using the back of your hand as sort of an artist's palette. I like to use the back of my hand so I can measure the right amount of product I need on the actual brush. So don't put foundation exactly on the brush, put it on the back of your hand so you can measure the amount of product. Then you can go ahead and put it on your face in stippling motions and also circular motions, but don't push too hard. And also make sure not to wipe, but instead pat. By using circular motions and sort of pushing in the product, it will help to fill in the holes better. It is very important to make sure that you are building onto your foundation little by little, because when you add too much product all at once, then it just starts to get a little messy and it's a lot harder to work with. I really wanted to make this video in real time for those of you that want to learn the technique and not miss anything. It's just a lot of blending like what you're seeing here. I literally do this for about 8 to 10 minutes on this one cheek alone. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to move forward. If you would like to see a video in real time, then please let me know in the comments down below. That is pretty much what it looks like with one side finish. We will go ahead and do a different technique on the other side. Go ahead and put a little bit of foundation on your little artist palette and then use a finger to dot it onto your face in the spots that need the most coverage. The first technique is better suited for a full coverage nighttime look, whereas this technique is better for the daytime and is a lot more natural. You're going to be putting a lot less product on your face. I don't know why I kept looking into the camera. I'm so creepy, y'all. But you can go ahead and pat that foundation into your skin with circular motions. After you're done with your foundation, you can go ahead and dot some concealer under the eyes. Take your brush and blend it right in. Once you're finished, then you can take your powder puff and blot that powder onto your skin. This step is very important. Get your buffing brush and pat in some powder on that concealer to prevent any creasing. This will also help your concealer to last a lot longer. Lastly, we are going to concentrate the powder in certain areas like acne spots, the nose area, any places you might get oily. This will really help your makeup to last much longer and it will make the finish look more seamless. Today's question of the day is, what do you use to conceal your spots? As you have seen in this video, I use a lot of different products to spot conceal. Let me know what your best techniques and best products are that you use to conceal your spots in the comments down below. Alright, so now I will share 3 of my best tips that you can do for the best flawless foundation that you can have. My first tip is to go over your acne spots with a powdered foundation. This will add an extra layer of coverage and will also help for it to last longer. So for example, I know that this spot and this spot were kind of stubborn, so I would add just a little bit of powder. You see how I'm trying to talk while it's on my lips at the same time? Do you see though how it just adds an extra layer of coverage? It just kind of makes your foundation look a little smoother and more together. Make sure that when you're putting your blush, your highlight, and your contour that you're not wiping away all of the product that you work so hard to put on. We spent so much time on this. I'm just gonna take a little bit of blush and use a light hand. You don't need that much. And I'm just gonna pat in my blush here. Hourglass does really beautiful blushes, by the way. I really love treating myself with some high quality products, but Milani also does a really great blush as well in Coral Cove, and I will share that in the description box down below. So do you see, when you pat in your blush like this, your foundation still stays and you're not wiping off all that hard work that you did. Another blush tip is to apply your blush slightly higher than the apples of your cheeks. My apples are like right here, and I like to apply it slightly higher so that I can lift my face upward. And I don't want to draw too much attention to my skin in general. That is why I don't like my blush to look very noticeable. And there's a very big difference when you take a look at both sides. This side just looks more complete, whereas this side is just kind of like, is she gonna finish her makeup? Because I measured contour and highlight too, I'll just do my contour real quick as well. Kind of the same thing. Just kind of pat. You don't want to glide it on and wipe. You just kind of want to pat and press it in. So then your contour will look a lot nicer and it won't mess up the foundation that's underneath. So there you go, you got some nice contour. This is my last tip, and it's more of a general tip, is to draw attention to other features on your face. For example, if you have a pimple around your mouth, don't wear a very bold lip because that'll just draw more attention to your lips and people will notice the acne around your lips. So instead, what you might want to try is to draw more attention to your eyes. Maybe have a very nice, pretty smoky eye or sparkly eye, something like that, so it will draw the attention away from the area where you have pimples. If this video was helpful for you, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button to let me know that this was a good video. If it wasn't, then dislike it too. I mean, if it wasn't good, I want to know so that I can learn to do better. Also, if you aren't already, follow me on Instagram at @hershayla, because this is where I keep you updated with a lot of my makeup looks, and I just kind of share more about myself with you all. So that is a really great place for you to get to know me more. I hope that this video helped you to apply your foundation better. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay beautiful. I just wanna be